Well, how would you say Asgard?
Asgård.
Oh, man.
Oh, we have to reshoot this whole thing.
You are not like the other gods of kill.
That's why I don't know if the studio will allow me to say stop hammer time. Oh, I said it.
Tordenguden Thor er tilbage i biffen. I Thor Love and Thunder spiller Chris Hemsworth igen den kulørte Marvel-version af den oldnordiske gud.
This ends here and now!
Og i instruktørstolen finder vi igen Newzealandske Taika Waititi, som også stod bag Thors seneste enkeltstående filmeventyr, den fornøjelige Thor Ragnarok fra 2017.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
En anden genganger i Love and Thunder er selveste Natalie Portman.
Jane?
Den Oscar-belønnede stjerne spillede Tordengudens bedre halvdel, Jane Foster, i Marvels 2 første Thor-film.
Who are you, really?
You'll see soon enough.
God, I hope you're not crazy.
Og nu er Portman tilbage, denne gang som Thors kvindelige modstykke, Mighty Thor.
What's it been like? 3-4 years?
8 years, 7 months and 6 days, give or take.
Am I, sensing feelings?
Well, you're right.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
Og sammen må de tidligere turtelduer bekæmpe den grofulde Gore, spillet af Christian Bale, en ækel og kridhvid dræbermaskine, som vil slagte alle universets guder, inklusiv Thor, og endda også selveste Zeus, spillet af Russell Crowe.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick!
Oh, you flicked too hard, damn it!
Should we help him? Eventually. Great.
Og vi har interviewet Taika Waititi samt Natalie Portman og Tessa Thompson. Thompson spiller Valkyrie, endnu en af Tordengudens guddommelige sidekicks.
Yes.
Men selvom det måske er relativt let at spille superstærke guder, så er det altså en helt anden udfordring at tale dansk.
Are you packed? A hand grenade. Portable speaker.
For me, it's a huge pleasure to meet you also because I'm from Denmark, and obviously we're very proud of the fact that one of our great cultural exports, of course, Norse mythology is now really taken the world by storm. But also, we're obviously very proud of the fact also that our language, which even to us mostly sounds like incoherent, drunk mumbling, is beautifully represented through the name, of course, of Thor's hammer. So, I mean, never mind not only mastering the hammer, but how difficult is it to master, you know, the pronunciation of Mjolnir?
Yeah.
There was a bit, too, in the movie, didn't we have a thing? Wasn't there a thing we did for a while with, like, mispronouncing it?
I think so.
I think so. I don't know. I don't think it's in the movie, but there was a moment with that. I used to be really intimidated. I don't usually say it. I'm grateful that I don't need to say it that much. But I've gotten it now. Can you say it one more time? It's so beautiful when you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to me because when you say it in English, you have like the EA at the end, like Mjolnir, but it's just Mjolnir.
Oh, well, I'm saying it wrong.
But it's still. But I mean, even we Danes mispronounce words all the time. It sounds beautiful when you guys say it as well.
No, it's super cool. I work with someone Icelandic right now on the project I'm currently working on, and she was like, if I worked on your project on Thor, then everyone would say Asgard differently. And I was
How would you say it?
Well, how would you say Asgard?
Asgård.
Asgård.
Asgård. Exactly.
I'm like, oh man, we really are not doing it justice.
We have to reshoot this whole thing.
You basically just cut it off just a little tiny fraction of a second earlier and just like you've just been interrupted in the middle of a word. That's how you do Danish.
Asgård.
Asgård and Mjolnir. Yeah.
Mjolnir.
Sorry, I feel a bit like a mansplaining idiot right now. So.
No, you're densplaining. Yeah. It's good. It's necessary.
The boundary's getting bigger, it's expanding. We're talking cities, states.
You were both part of one of my favorite science fiction films, Annihilation, that you were both in, obviously, a few years ago. And I wanted to ask you, as actors, how different is it being part of this huge Marvel machinery compared to like a much more smaller independent genre film like Annihilation?
It's really different.
It's pretty different.
It's interesting though how like that. I feel like the content of the movie affects the like environment a lot. Like
true.
Annihilation had kind of this like very weird like. There was like a weird energy.
It
like,
was
weird. Like I loved working with the group of actresses together, but it had like a a weird vibe.
Really weird vibe.
And this had like a very wacky vibe.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Like just very kind of silly and incoherent and like, you know, wacky kind of atmosphere. So yeah, there were very different experiences, but very grateful on both to have Tessa's like comradeship.
Very grateful for yours too. Yeah, because it's also they're different, obviously, in budget and scale and time. But you're right. Like I think that's the thing. That like the subject matter, the content of the project, the rhythm of the project also really affects the energy.
Yeah, like seeps into kind of what the experience of set is.
Yeah, it's so true.
But like you say, you use the word wacky, and that's definitely a word I'd use to describe Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, deliciously wacky.
It's color we need. Let's bring the rainbow.
Bring the rainbow, is that a catchphrase or something?
She's only been a Thor for a minute.
I mean, saving lives she's quite good at, but the rest of it, she needs work.
How many catchphrases have there been?
A lot.
Yep. Jump the gun.
But on a movie this wacky and batshit crazy, is it sometimes difficult to sort of hone through that wackiness, craziness, colorfulness on the emotions of the drama and the emotions of your characters as well, and stay grounded so it doesn't teeter into too much wackiness and craziness?
I'm curious what your experience, because I wasn't there for a lot of those scenes when you had like more emotional work to do. Did it feel?
Well, I felt that the great thing about the way Taika creates everything is that he like demands spontaneity and demands like every time being completely in the moment and present with anything that happens and open to things changing, which is really kind of a great influence on drama as well. I mean, I think it's more common in comedy. I think from what I've heard, I haven't done a lot myself, but I've heard that it's quite improvisational and spontaneous always on comedy sets. And it's a really interesting and positive energy to bring into dramatic stuff as well.
Yeah, it's so nice to feel like you can surprise your partner and yourself in a scene.
He moves through shadows and he's going to the shadow realm. It seems like that's where he's going to be the most powerful.
You're right, we can't just go marching in there. It could be a trap.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I'm thinking it.
What are we thinking?
Thinking what?
I'm thinking it too.
Omnipotency.
Bagefter talte vi med filmens manuskriptforfatter og instruktør, Taika Waititi. Den 46-årige newzealænder er på få år blevet en af filmbranchens mest eftertragtede historiefortællere. Han lagde ud med at lave skæve og stærke film i sit hjemland, såsom gyserkomedien What We Do in the Shadows.
I came to this country for love. There was a girl, human girl. She gave me this before she left. Unfortunately, we vampires cannot wear silver.
Og den drøn-charmerende familiefilm Hunt for the Wilder People.
You lost?
No.
Men det var Thor Ragnarok, der for alvor gjorde Waititi til et brandvarmt navn i Hollywood. Og siden da har han også vundet en Oscar for bedste manuskript.
Thank you.
Takket være sit sort-humoristiske krigsdrama Jojo Rabbit, hvor i Waititi selv spillede selveste Adolf Hitler.
Let them say whatever they want. People used to say a lot of nasty things about me. Oh, this guy's a lunatic. Oh, look at that psycho. He's gonna get us all killed.
Ja, Waititi har også evner foran kameraet. Han er faktisk manden, der både lægger stemme og kropsbevægelser til stenmanden Kork, endnu en af Thors karismatiske kammerater.
So that's the ex-girlfriend, is it?
The old ex-girlfriend.
Jodie Foster.
Jane Foster.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
Og Waititi er nøjagtigt lige så karismatisk som Kork, men trods alt langt mindre stenet.
I wanted to first talk about Christian Bale.
Yes.
And I mean, I wanted to hear, like, wasn't there part of you that was maybe a bit worried because he's such a dedicated method actor, you know, that he would maybe put himself and also the production at risk by actually traveling to outer space and killing a few cosmic gods?
Exactly. He's so method that he would butcher actual gods.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's very rare for me to meet someone who's fully method. And I mean, also, I'm like, what is method? I know for a fact that, you know, I could have conversations with him and, like, you know, I mean, he definitely, like, gets himself into his characters, but I don't really know his process at all, and I sort of don't really need to know. You know, every actor I've worked with has got a different process, and some people just, you know, they'll be on their phones, and then you say action, they just kind of like start crying, and then they do their thing, and they go back to their phone, and like, you know, that's not a thing for them. Other people really need to sit in the character for a long time. And I have to respect everyone's different way of working.
Yeah. So are you method yourself? Did you like engulf yourself in a case of rocks, you know, to prepare for your part?
That's what I did. It's exactly what I did. Every night. I mean, it takes me a while to get out of character too. I still do it.
Kids, get your popcorn out. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson.
But on a more serious note, even though it is actually technically a question about humor, the first two Thor movies definitely had a bit of a more dramatic, serious tone to them.
You are a vain, greedy, cruel boy. And you are an old man and a fool! You're unworthy! Father.
And I've always wondered, what was it that made you realize that there was so much delightful, untapped, humorous potential, not only in the Thor as a movie saga, but also in Chris as an actor?
Human handshake to the Asgardian shake, into the snake that you cannot trust. Really dragging this out and finish the classic Asgardian high one.
Well, I knew Chris before, and I knew that he was funny. And when we were writing the film, you know, basically a year before we started shooting, I already knew that I wanted there to be humor in it. I wanted there to, you know, to have this is on Ragnarok. You know, like we already wanted to just to tap into those qualities that Chris has. You know, he's charming, he's funny, and he's just a good person to have along for the ride. And I love working with him. And I just wanted everyone else to sort of see what I saw.
Yeah, and also, speaking of actors, this is also the first Thor movie that doesn't have him and Tom Hiddleston as a duo, of course. And I mean, their chemistry has been such a major part of the success of not only the Thor saga, but also the MCU as a whole. And of course, there's so many great actors in your film, but was that a bit nerve-wracking, knowing that you didn't have their particular duo and chemistry at all in this film as the first Thor film?
I mean, a little bit. You know, Tom's so beloved as that character and brings so much to the films. But you know, I think it's been a few years now since his death, and I think we all just sort of like got used to it and had to understand that we had to just kick on and, you know, get on with it. So I also think, like, you know, Thor and Ragnarok, Thor managed to sort of define himself, you know, without the brother relationship too much, so I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Just put this over here for you. Anyway, all got places to be, so good luck, I guess.
Well, Taika, unfortunately, I'm running out of time here, where it gives me the perfect opportunity, of course, to say stop. Hammer time, which I guess there's a huge inclination to sing that song all the time on set.
Can't touch this.
Well, I might get sued by bloody, I mean, you know, I don't know if it's rights-wise, I don't know if the studio will allow me to say stop hammer time. Oh, I said it.
Thank you for the film. The only thing I felt was missing was Russell Crowe saying, "What we do in the shadows echoes in eternity." That's
that would have been good.
Yeah, but maybe for the next one.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
This ends here and now.
I'm counting on that.
You can't actually see them here in the background, but do I have all of your movies in my library? So,
oh, fantastic.
Yeah. I'm kind of old-fashioned kind of guy. There's something still about having the physical copy. You know?
For sure. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm very against this idea of buying these movies on Apple. Do I own them?
No.
What happens? If they just decide to distribute, they lose the rights to these movies, where's my movie?
Exactly.
Apple need to have a thing where they send you, if you demand it, they send you a physical copy of your film.
Oh, that would be perfect. Yeah.